Good morning, Metcalfe Public School, and welcome to the MPS Daily News. Today is Thursday, January 14th. Bonjour, Metcalfe, et bienvenue aux nouvelles MPS. Aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi, le 14 janvier 2021. Quoi, Metcalfe? I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the sacred land of the Algonquin Nation. Let us begin our day by acknowledging the Algonquin Anishinaabe people for allowing us to learn and grow on their land. Today, as a part of our work on the calls to action from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, we're going to specifically look at number 10, and I'm going to read it out for you. We call on the federal government to draft new Aboriginal legislation with the full participation and informed consent of Aboriginal peoples. The new legislation would include a commitment to sufficient funding and would incorporate the following principles: providing sufficient funding to close identified educational achievement gaps within one generation, improving education attainment levels and success rates, developing culturally appropriate curricula, protecting the right of Aboriginal languages, including the teaching of Aboriginal languages as credit courses, enabling parental and community responsibility, control, and accountability, similar to what parents enjoy in the public school system, and enabling parents to fully participate in the education of their children, and lastly, respecting and honoring treaty relationships. I hope that by seeing this particular call to action, you have a deeper understanding that our Indigenous people, our Aboriginal people, have not been treated as fairly as it relates to education for many, many years. That's the news for today. Well, we're going to pop into a class right now. Going to pop into Miss Stanley's class. Good morning, Miss Stanley's class. How are you doing? Good. Can everybody give everybody in Metcalfe a wave and say good morning?
Good morning, Metcalfe.
Excellent, excellent. Well, you guys stay put for a little bit of for a second as I'm going to go through the announcements, and you guys can actually listen to them live, okay? So our first announcement today is about, once again, our third path work, regulation and responding to alarm. And we're going to talk about some strategies to help. As teachers, we expect the unexpected. As students, you need to understand that you may not always fully grasp that you are feeling something or that your emotions have been hijacked. And yesterday I talked about that upstairs brain and that downstairs brain. When you, as the students, are in this state, you can probably expect that your teacher is going to try to connect with you. Oh, I'm going to minimize here so that I don't block you all off. There we go. So you can expect that your teacher is going to try to make a connection with you. The teacher is actually trying to prevent you from getting yourself into a deeper problem, okay? So you may be asked to step outside in the hall. Remember, you're not in trouble. They're just trying to show you and give you space to maintain your dignity. Have you ever witnessed this happening in your class or with somebody in your class? Maybe even yourself. This might make it easier to understand. More to come tomorrow. Our online learning. Well, it's understood that after a week and a half that this is becoming a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging to maintain interest and engagement. You know, our teachers are trying, but they're also feeling this too. We must be present. And what I mean by that is giving ourselves the full attention when we're sitting here on screen in front of our teacher, okay? And make sure that we're completing all work that has been given to you. This morning at 12:01, the stay-at-home order took effect. Today is our first day working under the stay-at-home order. For Metcalfe, that means that our office is closed. If you or someone in your family needs to reach us, please email metcalfeps@ocdsb.ca. This email will be monitored during the shutdown period. It will be monitored regularly. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., you are all invited to participate in a simple school-wide game called Heads or Tails. A Google Meet link will be sent to you through your Google Classrooms at 1:45. The chat will be turned off, and there will be prizes for our winners when we return back to school. I hope to see all of you there. And last but certainly not least, some facts about Metcalfe and why Metcalfe is named for what it is. Remember that Metcalfe is named after Charles Theophilus Metcalfe. At the age of 19, Metcalfe was appointed political assistant to General Lake, who was then conducting the final campaign of the Second Anglo-Maratha War against Yashwantrao Holkar. In 1808, he was selected by Lord Minto to be for the responsible post of envoy to the court of Ranjit Singh at Lahore. Here, on the 21st of April, 1809, he concluded the important Treaty of Amritsar, securing the independence of the Sikh states between Sutlej and Jumna. His first tenure as resident of Delhi began on February 25th, 1811, for the East India Company. From 1813 for the British government, and in 1819 he received from Lord Hastings the appointment of Secretary in the Secret and Political Department. From 1820 to 1825, Sir Charles, who was succeeded by his brother in the baronetcy in 1822, was resident at the court of Nizam, and afterwards was summoned in an emergency to his former post at Delhi. There are no birthday wishes for today. That's our announcements for today. Thank you again to Ms. Stanley's class. Give everybody one final wave. Merci et bonne journée. Thanks, and have an outstanding day, everybody. See you later.